back, guys. Thanks for joining us on another one here. We're doing a pitch meeting, Wakanda Forever reaction. We watched the movie. Let's check this out, and we'll talk about the movie afterwards.
So, you have a movie for me?
Yes, sir, I do. It's a sequel to a super popular movie, and it's gonna have blue people underwater.
But Avatar 2? Marvel doesn't make those, you silly goose.
No, actually, I'm talking about Black Panther 2.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that series is in our repertoire.
That's not how that's pronounced. So anyway, obviously, we're gonna start the movie with a nice tribute to Chadwick Boseman. You know, the Marvel logo is just gonna be him.
Of course.
And in the movie, T'Challa's gonna pass away from an illness, and Shuri's gonna be trying to save him by making that heart-shaped herb synthetically, but she's not gonna manage.
Wow.
Yeah, so throughout the movie, Shuri and the Wakandans are kind of dealing with the passing of T'Challa while also dealing with this new threat that emerges.
Oh, what's the threat?
Oh, it's freaking Namor.
How do you pronounce that?
You know, everybody in the movie's gonna say it differently. I guess there's no wrong way to say it.
Oh, I'm gonna pronounce it Namor.
Okay, no, maybe there is a wrong way.
Like a hungry little kid asking for seconds of his favorite dessert. Namor. Is that cool?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely not cool.
Well, okay then. So why does this guy want to fight Wakanda?
Well, it's a long story, but see, this guy's the leader of a secret underwater nation called Talocan, and they also have vibranium, right?
Now that's the stuff that makes all the cool things do all the cool things.
Yeah, and since Wakanda told the whole world about vibranium, the CIA started looking for some with a vibranium detecting machine.
What does that machine do?
It detects vibranium.
That's probably why they called it that.
That's absolutely why it's called that, sir. And since the CIA found some vibranium underwater, Namor is like, hey, Wakanda, this is your fault. What the heck?
Oh.
So he's like, now you gotta go get me the scientist that made the machine.
I mean, if the machine was purchased by the CIA, they probably already looked into how to make more. What's the point of getting the scientist girl?
So we can introduce Riri Williams to the MCU
Sure.
before her show premieres on Disney+.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is urgent. Get her in here real quick.
So Namor just kind of shows up in Wakanda and says all this to Shuri and the Queen.
Do they not have security for the waterways headed into Wakanda?
I mean, they must, but Namor's so good, he bypasses them.
How does he manage that?
With his, water skills, I guess. It's off screen, so he just comes and goes as he pleases.
Oh, coming and going as you please is tight.
Sure. So now Shuri and Okoye have to go get Riri or Wakanda's gonna be attacked.
Why don't they send more backup with them?
Unclear, but so then Shuri and Riri get taken to Talocan underwater.
Uh-oh, tough to breathe underwater.
Yeah, and so Namor shows Shuri how beautiful his nation is and tells her his origin story and why he hates everybody.
Understandable.
I didn't even tell you why he hates everybody.
I know, I get it.
Okay, that's alarming. So anyway, he's like, hey, we should team up and burn the world down. And if you refuse, I'm gonna destroy Wakanda first.
They're gonna wage war with the entire planet?
Yeah.
How do they plan on taking on landlocked countries with beluga whales and hot air balloons?
Well, I wouldn't laugh, sir. You know what they say about beluga whales? You never know when they're gonna strike.
That's not true.
It might be. So anyway, eventually Nakia comes and rescues them, and they head back to Wakanda.
Nice.
But then Namor and his people are gonna attack, and they've got water, they've got fish, they've got really good singers that'll make you kill yourself.
What?
And Namor has tiny little wings on his feet.
Aww.
And then he drowns the queen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then he tells Shuri, all right, I'm gonna give you guys some time to regroup, okay? Does a week sound good? I'm gonna head out for a week or so.
Why would he do that?
So they have time to prepare for the final battle of the movie.
Okay.
So then Shuri freaking figures out how to synthesize that flower, and she becomes the Black Panther.
Oh, wow.
Wow. And she gives Okoye a weird Power Ranger suit, and they make Riri a suit.
Is everybody just kind of getting suits now?
That's right, sir. Several people are kind of Iron Man now.
Wow, and how did they get all that done in such a short amount of time?
Montage.
Gotcha.
So now it's time
man.
for the big final battle, and they've figured out their plan of attack.
What's their plan?
They're gonna head out to the ocean and fight the ocean guy and his people there.
Isn't that the enemy's home turf?
Yes.
Isn't that where the enemy will have the biggest advantage?
Oh, absolutely.
That doesn't seem like the best plan.
Well, that's the one they're going with. Also, they realize if they dry Namor, they can weaken him a bit.
But what, are they going to attack him with a blow dryer?
No, that'd be ridiculous.
All right.
It's more of like a space heater type thing.
Oh, okay.
So the Wakandans head to the ocean for this fight and, really get their butts kicked.
Yeah, because that's where the enemy's at their strongest.
For sure. But Shuri's gonna manage to dry Namor off a little bit and get him on land, so they're gonna fight while he's weakened.
Oh, great.
But then she gets badly impaled, right through her.
Oh, my God. Well, it's going to be impossible for her to beat this guy with that kind of injury.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because see, check this out. What she does is she's fine immediately.
Oh.
Yeah, all good right away, so.
But what about the severe impaling wound?
Hey, shut up. So then she's about to kill this guy, but then she's like, hey, what about an alliance? And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, sure, an alliance.
And she trusts the word of this guy who just killed her mom and made that promise under the threat of death?
For real.
Yes.
Well, great.
And so, yeah, then we find out that the Black Panther had a kitten, and we're done.
What?
So what do you think?
Well, it sounds like a great movie and a nice tribute to Chadwick Boseman.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is gonna fit right in with all the other fantastic movies we'll be releasing in 2022.
Oh, yeah, people are gonna love them all, sir.
I was filled with a lot of spoilers, so we're gonna talk spoilers in our little review here.
Yeah.
You know, let's get right into it. It was a great tribute in the beginning to Chadwick Boseman, and I feel like the beginning of this movie really needed to do what it needed to do, which was remember not just the character of T'Challa, but Chadwick Boseman as well.
Right.
And it was a very like heart-wrenching beginning. Like you really felt it. You know? And it was like a real reminder that, you know, this talented actor, we lost this talented actor.
Not just in real life, but also in the movie. They made it so, you know, such a good way to give him honor. You know, and there was a moment of silence too, which was oh my god. That was like intense for me, like not to cry because everybody was silent. So
I heard people crying. I heard people tearing up in the movie theater. And it was, you know, it was good to see this in the movie theater and feel it. And of course, we had to watch this in the movie theater. Of course, no doubt about it. So it was great. And you know, going into this, I knew Ryan Coogler, the director, was going to do the right thing. And I felt like not recasting Chadwick for this was the right decision, and building a story around his loss. So this movie felt like very different than the first one. Yeah. Very different because the first one was like fun, lighthearted, you know, like it was like an adventure with a lot of action. But this one, you had this feeling of sadness. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. It actually covered a lot of, I feel like a lot throughout the movie was really sad. And also the loss of the mom, you know, that was like a shocker. That was like intense too. And, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think I went in with like really, really high expectations, and I shouldn't have done that because it was amazing. In my opinion, it was really good. But it's just, of course, it's not going to be like the first one. Yeah. But it was just, I feel like it was just missing something.
That's a problem. You know, when you go into a movie, it depends what expectations you have. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I'll go into a movie with like really low expectations, and I'm like, you know what? That wasn't that bad. Yeah. Or I'll go in with like really high expectations, and then it doesn't meet your expectations. So that's, you know, when you're going into a movie, you gotta like bring down the expectations a little bit. Yeah. For me, you feel that the movie is missing Chadwick. Yeah. He was so charismatic as the Black Panther. He was such an integral part of the first movie that without him in the movie, there's not much the director could have done to meet the level of the first one. Yeah. And so it's nobody's fault. It's just a tragedy that this great actor is no longer with us. Without him, there's no way this movie could have been as good as the first one. Yeah. Because he was the Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So this movie for me felt like a transition movie. The Black Panther movie originally started out to be, and is transitioning into what Wakanda will be without him in the future. Right. So it's leading, I feel like this movie is leading to a lot of other things, not just in the Black Panther universe, but in the MCU as well. Right. Which is one of the problems I had with this movie. And I'll get into it. I felt like Ryan Coogler, I feel like Marvel came to Ryan Coogler and was like, okay, you're going to do Black Panther 2, but you got homework. You got to do this, you got to do this, and you got to do that. You got to introduce this character Riri, the scientist. You got to have this other story with the other CIA agents. I think they were agents or something like that. So make the movie, but include this. Yeah. And it felt forced. Yeah. I feel like this is not the movie that Ryan Coogler would have wanted to make. Right. If he didn't have this to-do list. Right. You know, because they're introducing Riri for this other Disney Plus show. And I'm not even sure if she's really that popular of a character. Right. In the comics, she wasn't that much of a popular character. Right. And like they said over here, you know, it kind of didn't make sense to go find this scientist. You know, like in the first one, everything kind of makes sense. In this one, this whole mission to go find the scientist Doesn't make sense. It felt forced.
Really
it felt forced.
And I appreciate the fact that they had all these Iron Man now, like,
right?
You know,
so anybody can be an Iron Man now?
Exactly.
Nah.
No, do not replace Iron Man. That's another character that I do not want to be replaced. You know, it's just one Iron Man. That's it. It's just one Iron Man in Marvel.
I don't like how just anybody could be an Iron Man now.
No, I don't
but
like
anyway, another good thing though, Tena Huerta, Namor.
Oh,
he did an amazing job. I love the whole backstory of Talocan. You know, how those people were, you know, around for all these centuries. How they became Talocan. The whole backstory of it. Very interesting character. Tena Huerta, I think he did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Very different than what you would see in the comics, but I felt like, oh man, this is cool because it's different.
Yeah.
You know, and like I didn't know what to expect. Sometimes, you know, I've read a lot of the comics of different characters, so I know what to expect fully. Yeah. You know, but this was a surprise. Like, I don't know. Okay, let's see what this is going to be. And I really enjoyed it. And his performance I thought was great. And I want to see more of him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm thinking, I heard somewhere that depending on how well this movie does and how well the characters perceive, that they might do a whole, like, you know, movie series with Namor.
With Namor. Well, I'm sure he's also going to be in the next, you know, whole Marvel movies, right? Like,
who knows? Who knows?
You know, it has to be.
You know, my one problem that I had with his character in this movie is they had him kill the queen.
Yeah.
And in the comics, he was never a full good guy or bad guy. But I don't know if in the comics he would kill
a queen
or a person like that.
And, you know, a person that she wasn't bad. It's not like she was bad or evil or dangerous. I mean, you know.
So did he do something so bad that there's no going back to him ever being a good guy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he crossed the line there as a character.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, overall, I still really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoyed it. I was super happy to see it. Yeah. You know, Cherie, she did a good job playing, you know, Black Panther. She really did. I mean, the choreograph, the fighting scenes, you know, her costume. I mean, she's strong. She's a strong girl. And also the whole thing about him having a son, I think that was something, I mean, it was kind of like, what? You know, at the end. Yeah. It was like shocking, but I can see where they're going with that. Yeah. And maybe he's going to be Black Panther in the future. Maybe a few years from now. Or from the other universe. You know how they have the other universe?
The multiverse.
The multiverse.
You know, you're absolutely right. We got to talk about Shuri, right? She did an amazing job filling that role because in the first one she was more like comic relief. But as an actress, let me see her name again, is Letitia Wright. As an actress, Letitia Wright really had to step it up in an emotional sense, not just being the comic sister. Yeah. She really stepped it up as an actress to fill this role, and much respect to her. The whole cast did amazing. I'm always a big fan of M'Baku. You know,
he's hilarious.
M'Baku is hilarious. And when they were writing the movie, they even thought of maybe possibly making him the Black Panther. So she was the Black Panther for this movie. Doesn't mean that's what she wants to keep doing.
True.
So maybe, you know, they have this tournament like they had at the end of the movie to find a new Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
With Marvel, you never know.
I can see him being
M'Baku?
Yeah. I mean, he's huge though. So it's gonna be like a totally
different kind of Black Panther. But he could be king and let somebody else be Black Panther. You know, so he could be King of Wakanda and have a Black Panther.
I like him as a kid. He's hilarious.
He'll be a good king. He's already. I feel like they're already pushing him in that direction. Yeah. He's hilarious. Well, it's great. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you guys later. Let us know what you thought about Wakanda Forever. I loved it. Had its problems, but I still loved it. Yes. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Peace. Bye.